Hi everybody, it's Jen here doing another Project Life spread for you. This is the week of March the 6th to the 13th, and as you can tell, part of the week is spent at home and the other part of the week, the Saturday and the Sunday, was the beginning of our trip to Hawaii. So yes, it was only 2 days and it's taking up a whole half of the spread, but you know, lots of photos there. I started out picking out some cards, and then I remembered I had some travel cards in my stash, so I'm going to end up switching out almost all of the cards here. And I spent quite a long time doing this, so I have this sped up quite fast this time. I think I have it on 400 times speed, so it's not quite as painful, but you'll see that sometimes it does take me quite a long time to pick out some cards. I ended up going with blues and yellows. I just thought that it was sort of the ones I had pulled out originally, and then it just kind of worked. So I'm going to stick with that. So I like that one card that says once a year, go someplace you've never been before. Honestly, we've actually been to this place in Hawaii before, but that's okay. I just thought it was a cool card. And then that other one there that says travel notes, it says day 1, day 2, which is perfect because this is the first 2 days of the vacation. So I had to absolutely use that. That one that says rest on there was one that I had made in the storytelling class with Ali Edwards. And I'm just spending a long time trying to figure out what I want to do for my card up in the top there because I looked at some, that sort of had palm trees and things on it, but, that half of the week was spent in, a temperate rainforest, here, so it didn't really make sense. So I end up going with this blue stripe, and I'm just going to figure out a way to add some yellow to it at some point, just to sort of make it work with the theme, because I felt like just the blue was too blue, if that makes sense. So I had pulled out a few bits and pieces before I started, and I really wanted to use that family wood veneer in the scripty font. So I end up spelling out vacay, so family vacation. And I'm just going to have that as a card all by itself and just add an enamel dot to it, and that is it. And that go someplace one, I just decided to move these over so I don't have yellow beside yellow. And I wanted to move the family one over as well. I just thought it made more sense putting the journaling for the first 2 days on there, because the top photo right there is literally the gate at the airport, and then the photo right below it is the second day when we were doing grocery shopping and getting settled in. So it just kind of made more sense to me. And I pulled out a yellow camera clip there as well for that card that says rest. I'm gonna keep this really simple, even though the video ends up being almost 12 minutes long for a simple video, and a lot of that is just me kind of fiddling around and looking for things. But I found that plane, and I thought that was perfect because I didn't have a ton to say. I have several layouts that are going to go in right here in my album, but I'm also doing a Project Life album that I'm going to do digitally and print out for everybody. I'm waiting and hoping that by the time we hit Christmas next year that we can actually do the bound albums straight out of the app, because that's what I want to do for Christmas presents for everybody. We've gone on 3 of these vacations now, and so every time I've actually done an album up for the other 2 families. So my husband's parents, and then for his brother and their family, I've done an album up of the time that we were away and given that as a Christmas present in the same year. So that's my plan again this year, but wanting to do it with the Project Life app this year, so hoping that will work out for me. So this one, I think I have a process video with this photo on it of us going to Costco, but it's just a funny photo, so I decided to add it again. And I'm just adding a little bit of journaling on these, just following a line in the photo, because I wanted to keep this pretty simple, as I said, but sort of I found it sort of draws your eye into the cart there, and brings your eye to the fact that it's a plain wing. Sorry if I'm having troubles with my words. I have a bit of a cold. I've been nursing my son all last week with a nasty virus, and then of course now I have it, and I just find it's making me a bit dumb. So sorry if I'm having some trouble with words for the video this time. So I just added puffy stickers to both of those that I got in my stash. The one on the bottom there says hashtag family trip, and then the one on the top says hashtag go, and then I just added another enamel dot and a little wood veneer, just pulling in another enamel dot and a little bit more wood, just to keep, I like to have things sort of in threes. And there is a little sleight of hand. I wanted to type right out at the place that we were staying in Hawaii, and I had to actually go look up and see what is the state abbreviation for Hawaii. It is not HA, it is HI. So I made it magically change when I turned the camera off to go look it up. But this is the place that we were staying at. This is actually on Oahu, and it's a nice little town on the east side, the windward side, where they don't allow resorts and hotels, and so we had rented a house. And it was lovely and quiet, which is what we were looking for. We weren't looking for the really touristy Honolulu and Waikiki area. We were looking for quiet. So it was fantastic, but still obviously close to lots of things like a Costco and grocery shopping and Baskin Robbins, which is deadly. They have my favorite kind of ice cream there. So added a couple word phrase stickers onto the plain shot there, and then I'm just adding a couple more onto some. As I said, I like to do things in threes, so I'm going to add some right there, and I'm going to just write on this one as well, and using the lines of just switching out to a slick writer, using the lines of those words just to add this in the top corner about the fact that I had spotted this rainbow on a very dreary, yucky day. I was getting pretty darn happy before we left to go to Hawaii because there's a lot of rain this winter here. And then here is my third area where I'm going to put these words on. And I started out being super lazy and just putting them on the top of the page protector. But then I decided I really wanted to add another spot with an enamel dot and a wood veneer. And so here I'm taking them off. Luckily they come off really simply. And I'm just going to do the opposite of what I did in the top and put the wood veneer in the little enamel dot on the other side, and then put the words beside it on the right side, if that makes any sense. Am I making sense today? I hope so. Yeah, with it being on 400 times speed, I feel like I'm talking super fast as well, but that's okay. You can see what I'm doing as well. So yeah, just filling in this card about my son's project that he did. And then I also had this word radical, which is just it's really big and just something I wouldn't use too much. So I decided to put it on the corner here because it doesn't cover too much of his project that he's standing beside. And I just thought it looked really cool in the photo, kind of balanced the photo a little bit better. There's a lot of space on the one side. So that is, yes, a picture of my upright freezer, but it is included in here because I was just super excited that I actually defrosted it. So because I knew we were going to be away for 2 weeks, I ran us out of groceries and actually defrosted this like the day before we left. I don't know why I always do these things to myself, but I do. But the nice thing is that it was actually done, and then I could actually leave it unplugged for the whole 2 weeks and save some of the hydro there with having it unplugged, since there was nothing in it anyways. And I added another little enamel dot over there as well. It just felt like I needed to put some yellow on that card. And then I just did a little bit of writing in the corner there. It's just a wall garden at the place that I went to go get a pedicure before we left. And I just thought it was so beautiful because, as I said, it was so dreary and rainy here before we left in March. And so just that wall of green in their little waiting area was just beautiful. So I had to take a photo of it. So I'm looking for yellow letter stickers because as I wanted to pull yellow up into my date card, and I have to go away and come back. And here I have found these are some Simple Stories ones. These are quite old, I think. I don't know why I've never used them. And I'm just spelling out the date on here with these. I don't like these as much as I like the font on the October afternoon, but they're actually nice. So I suspect you'll see these come out a whole bunch more times now when I'm doing my project life in my other videos. I think my biggest issue with them was just that they don't have a lot of each, and there's only one of each number, so you run out super fast. Like there's only one. So, what if the date is, like the 15th to the 19th or something, right? Like you can't write it out. So that was my only problem with those. So here I just wanted to jazz up that card a little bit more. And so I had the idea to pull out these stamps. These are the Ali Edwards stamps. I can't remember what they're called, something circles. And I got these in my class, and I just decided to stamp 4 of them and then fussy cut them out. And this is what I probably should have cut out, because it cut out. I should have cut out me cutting these out, because number one, I'm a terrible fussy cutter. I think it's because I have 0 patience. And the other reason I should have cut this out is because it's boring to watch. But that's okay. I think it goes pretty fast on 400 times speed anyways. And I just had the idea to stamp these on the scratch piece of paper that I pull out of my scraps, and just have them sort of on that card. You'll see I'm just going to stagger them from top down to the bottom corner, and just add a little bit of extra. And I liked it, so I was happy that I don't know where I got that idea from, but I was happy that I had thought of it. So I'm just going to make that top one just the tiniest bit come off, and then the bottom there, you can only just see that today. And that's pretty much it, guys. So there you can see that card. I'm going to do a really quick walk through with this. I'm just holding it, and I'm getting better, I think, at holding it nice and steady for you so that you can see it. And I should have this one up Monday or Tuesday this week, and then I am going to have a 12 by 12 layout up for you. I wanted to get this done and off my desk before I went back to doing a couple of layouts. So hope you enjoyed, guys, and I will be back real soon. Thanks so much for watching.